I want you to picture a coral reef for a moment. Bright colors, fish swimming in every direction, and an entire world just hidden beneath the ocean surface. I've never been scuba diving myself, but learning about coral reefs made me realize how alive the ocean really is. What surprised me the most, though, is how quickly these places are disappearing and how much that actually affects us. That's why I believe protecting coral reefs is essential for our future. First, coral reefs matter more than people realize. Even though they cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, coral reefs support about 25% of all marine life. That means 1 out of every 4 ocean species depends on reefs for food and shelter. Because of this, coral reefs are often called the rainforest of the sea. When reefs are healthy, marine life thrives. When reefs die, entire ecosystems begin to fall apart. Coral reefs also matter to people. Over 500 million people around the world depend on coral reefs for food, jobs, and income. Fishing industries, tourism relies heavily on healthy reefs. On top of that, coral reefs protects coastlines by absorbing the force of waves and storms. Having grown up by the beach, we got a lot of hurricanes, and the coral reefs definitely caught some of that impact before it came onto our beaches. But without reefs, coastal and communities are more likely to experience flooding, erosion, and storm damage. Learning this made me realize that coral reefs aren't just beautiful, they are necessary. Now that we understand why coral reefs matter, it's important to look at what is destroying them. The biggest threat to coral reef is climate change. When ocean temperature rises, coral becomes stressed and experience coral bleaching. Bleaching happens when coral loses the algae that gives them color and energy. Without that algae, coral weakens and often die. Scientists estimate that more than half of the world's coral reefs have already been lost, and more are at risk if ocean temperatures keep rising. Pollution is another major cause of coral reef damage. Plastic waste, chemicals, and runoff from land flow into the ocean harm coral health. Overfishing also plays a role by removing fish that help keep the ecosystems balanced. When I learned how many human activities contribute to reef destruction, it made me realize that this problem isn't natural, it's caused by us. While these threats are serious, there are still ways we can protect coral reefs before it's too late. One thing we can do is reduce our carbon footprint. Saving energy, supporting clean energy, and being mindful to how our actions affect the environment can slow ocean warming. Individually, we can also make better choices. Growing up on the beach again, we used to use reef-safe sunscreen, and we can reduce pollution that ends up in the ocean, like picking up plastic on the beach. We can also support larger efforts such as marine protected areas and sustainable fishing laws. These protections give reefs time to recover and allow marine ecosystems to rebuild. When individual communities and governments work together, protecting coral reefs can be possible. Some people argue that protecting coral reefs is too expensive or not as important as other issues. However, ignoring coral reef protection will cost us far more in the long run. Coral reefs save billions of dollars by protecting coastlines, supporting fisheries, and sustaining tourism. Protecting them now is not only the right thing to do, but it's the smart thing to do. To conclude, coral reefs matter because they support marine life, protect coastlines, and provide food and jobs for millions of people. They are being destroyed by climate change, pollution, and overfishing, but we still have the power to help. I am asking you to learn more about coral reefs and make reef-safe choices and support efforts that protect our oceans. Coral reefs can't speak for themselves, but we can. And the future of our ocean depends on what we choose to do with it.